It all depends on the use case. When our partner approaches us and asks for CAN reading solution, we always aim to dig deeper. What kind of vehicles? Lights, commercial, two-wheelers. Based on the choice of the use case, we will be able to provide a solution.
So basically they are to use the OTA in order to update.
Absolutely, otherwise it would be, crazy going in the field each time. For this company, it was highly important to have this precision because of the density of the area. They told us that, we grew 27% thanks to this solution.
What is that recipe of success for the 2026?
I would definitely recommend to look outside vehicle telematics.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Telematics Talks. I'm Vlad, VP of Operations at Navixy, and today's episode is special because we're diving into one of the hottest shifts in fleet tech right now, e-mobility. As many of you know, a lot of our customers are running mixed fleets, EVs alongside ICE vehicle, and they're balancing charging, uptime, and sustainability targets, while still demanding rock-solid location data in dense cities, tunnels, and underground parking. That's where great hardware, clean data, and tight platform integrations make or break the day. Joining me is Kseniya Dolia from Teltonika marketing team, a brand many of you trust for rugged, easy-to-deploy device across everything, from delivery vans to e-bikes and industrial EVs. And by the way, on one of the conferences I've seen even the health band, which is unexpected. So in this conversation, we will dig into what EV-ready telematics really means on the device and CAN side, what's new for the GNSS accuracy, the multi-constellation L1, L5, and obviously the dread reckoning, which is really, really interesting for those urban canyons and tunnels. Kseniya, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. And the first question would be, what drives you? What motivates you in what you do?
Oh, wow, we start very deep. Well, I would say that I find telematics quite an interesting niche to work in. So I'm specifically with the telematics direction of Teltonika business. It's very interesting to work in because there are so many use cases. And almost each and every project on telematics is quite unique. And for each of the clients, you need to find quite a special approach. So I was working in sales, now I'm in marketing. And basically the challenge that I have to solve every day, okay, how I pass a message across in a way that it fits different markets we are working in, and at the same time reaches individuals that actually read our website, watch our videos, and so on and so forth.
Okay, really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Kseniya, our partners are running mixed fleets usually. They have the ordinary ICE vehicle that are based on liquid fuel, and now they're switching a little bit or adding new units that are more EV related. But what is interesting is that Teltonika somehow manages to combine both, and in the EV sphere. What I mean is, what helps you to make that shift between the light EV vehicles and the heavy trucks or industrial EVs?
I would say that you should be ready to different implementations of your devices. And I would say that when Teltonika is designing a product, we're looking into not only what would be the type of the engine, but also what would be the use case. And that's why basically we have our, let's say, OBD reading devices that would read your data from EVs and internal combustion engine vehicles as well. Or we have CAN reading series that's applicable for both as well. If it's strictly about e-mobility, okay, we have the device for you as well, which is designed specifically for e-mobility. So I would say the secret is to consider not only the type of the engine, but the use case altogether.
Okay, probably that would be a tip to the other manufacturers that exist on the market. But what would be more essential than in this case? The use case comes first, right? Or the new model?
Yeah. I would say that the use case comes first because, of course, it will impact, okay, what size the device could be. what data should be read, and what inputs or outputs do I need to support special standards. Do I need a certain certification for specific regions? Or maybe when it comes to EV, of course, do I need a high voltage support?
If you would to pick up a use case, probably, or let us put it the other way, starting from someone who never adopted that technology yet. Some of our partners are just asking, and they're eager to find some new money on the market, to find some new projects on the market, find something interesting that would drive them further. And what would be your recommendations in terms of how to start? I mean, that's scary. This is new. What to do?
Yeah, of course, I totally understand that. And I think that we also go the same route when we design any new product. It's a bit, it's exciting, but at the same time, you have your concerns and reservations. So I totally relate to that. I would say that, first of all, of course, you need to analyze the local context of the country you're working in. What are the industries are booming in your region? What are the businesses that you can serve with your solution? And or especially, what is the local regulation? Because when it comes to EVs, of course, there are countries that either mandate the level of emission, either have sustainability goals. This is the driver for the market 100%. So I would definitely recommend to look what's going on and consider new emerging businesses that use electric vehicles, may it be car sharing, last mile delivery, may it be also personal immobility. Because, where I'm living in Vilnius, Lithuania, scooters is the part of my daily life now. The summer starts, or even spring starts, even Lithuanian spring starts. Already I see, scooters all across Vilnius because it allows you to bypass traffic jams. So yeah, I would suggest to start, looking locally.
Okay, thank you. And if you are to identify the probably the use case, or I would say the success story, maybe a quick win even for our audience, how to start that, like probably one of your use cases.
I can pick one of my favorite ones, I guess. It's e-bike, e-scooter sharing service that we see that more and more appearing and asking for e-mobility solution, because these guys, they aim to be either it's normal bike, either, okay, we want to be electric, we want to be sustainable. And there, basically, what I suggest to do is to approach the business and understand what are the pain points. Okay, are you operating in the city like Dubai? It means skyscrapers. It means you don't really see the satellites. Well, I need a solution for that. Do I know the habits of my users? Actually, do I know where there should be the parking spots for my bikes to rent? Okay, we can solve that with telematics. And that's how you complete the puzzle as well. And it's important to understand what kind of fleets they're using. Is it just kick scooters, or maybe e-bikes, or maybe it's a mixed fleet, or maybe it's everything rental like Kurim? Then you need vehicles, you need bikes and whatnot. And that's how you kind of put the puzzle together.
Designing hardware for EV isn't just swapping a power profile. Voltages swing wider. The data on the canvas speaks different languages. Well, and that happens per model. And the firmware needs to be live, and it has to live longer when you're closer to the OEM. Right now, more light EVs are joining mixed fleets, so the depth of the integration and the testing load keeps rising. Teltonika has been building device versions and firmware features for EV CAN, flexible power and cleaner installs that work for partners. If you're a telematics provider, you want a quick install today. That still works with any OEM pushes software change tomorrow. With that in mind, I'm really interested. What was the main challenge for you in terms of making those integrations together? Was it the range within the power? Was it the CAN data that actually differs from model to model, not only manufacturer? Or was it the firmware?
Well, I would say that we learned how to work with the high voltages for quite some time already, so this was quite fine. But when it comes to actually the data integration, we decided to go an interesting way with our e-mobility device. We are actually giving our partners, our solution providers, our companies that will actually integrate our devices in the field, we are giving them the possibility to specify, based on the data communication protocol of the vehicle, what parameters should be collected. So this way, we are giving them the freedom to work with specific models of EVs, register those parameters in the configuration of the device, and actually even avoid sharing the protocol with us. So there are different reasons for that. First of all, of course, flexibility, and also the need to cater to the use cases where the data communication protocol can't be shared due to confidential reasons.
Sure.
And this way, partner holds the full information about this integration, and we are like, just do your thing. We give you all the tools. So yeah, with our, let's say, latest mobility device, we decided to go this route. At the same time, when it comes to supporting some of the basic parameters and some of the, let's say, most used vehicles, we have the solutions with supported vehicles list, where we actually do the integration and give them, the full understanding what is supported, of what parameters from which models, from which manufacturers.
Okay, so basically you're just providing for the specific models and specific devices they're built to do it on the FT platform, I assume, right?
Actually, we started to do it with the previous generation already, so that we're doing it for quite some time. But it's true, supporting different kinds of data, that's a job on its own.
Okay, and I wonder about the firmware. Well, we never touched it right now, but what happens if you're halfway in deployment and then OEM decides to just update the firmware?
Well, it happens. It's live. They are manufacturers, of course. We respect that. I would say the only way to work with that is to be able to update the devices over there as well. So without that, it would be tremendously hard to maintain all those hundreds of thousands of Teltonika devices running in the wild out there. That's why we are providing our partners basically the platform to change the firmware of our devices if some functionality should be added, or change the configuration of the devices remotely. So the configuration, when it comes to, let's say, our e-mobility, latest e-mobility product, the configuration is the key for CAN parameters supported. So yeah, we give our partners the tool to update it online. And implement the changes that require for specific brand.
So basically they are to use the OTA in order to update the...
Yeah, absolutely.
If the new parameter appears.
Absolutely, otherwise it would be, crazy going in the field each time. They're just impossible.
Impossible, even with the scooters looking for them in the city. Thousands of them.
Of course, yeah.
And whenever you work directly with the OEMs, usually they would provide you with the protocols and all the updates that happen, right? And so you would be prepared for that.
Well, it really depends, I would say. I would say, of course, there is a tight cooperation when we have such use cases. And maybe there would be also some special product or some special solution created just to cater to our OEM partner. However, again, this update over the air, it's also always available.
Kseniya, and if we are to choose between the standard protocol that would basically fit the most, or something a bit more specific related to some extraordinary, again, data that requires extra libraries, and that's definitely harder to scale, what would you choose, or what would it be?
Well, again, I think that it all depends on the use case. Let's say when our partner approaches us and asks for CAN reading solution, we always aim to dig deeper. Okay, what kind of vehicles? Light, commercial, two-wheelers? Is it special machinery? Are you working with construction? And then basically, based on the choice of the use case, we will be able to provide a solution. And for our CAN reading devices, we do have the libraries with the lists of supported vehicles and parameters, and our partners are able to choose what they want actually. So may it be a tracking device from CAN series with inbuilt chip, or may it be some CAN adapter with very special libraries suiting for construction machinery. So that's also possible, but yeah, I would say the first question, as always, I think in telematics would be, okay, what are you doing with it? What are you solving with it?
Yes, totally understand you, yes. Thank you. And I'm really glad that Teltonika involves in the project deeper, especially when it gets to advanced things, and you would want to understand and get to the sense of it. And this is really good.
Yeah, I think that from my experience, there is no universal solution in telematics because all the businesses are different, even if they're working in the same industry, because the local regulation would be different, the size of the business, the problems that they are solving every day. And there is no, there is no solution that fits them all. You still need to adapt and answer the pains of the specific business, not just, ship the box.
Totally agree. Being a global company, we face the same problems.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Sustainability targets aren't just dashboards. They show up in daily routing, charging behavior, asset mix, and maintenance. Stakeholders now ask for measurable CO2 savings and operational KPIs, not just we're electrified for 2, 3, 5, 10%. Teltonika devices bring battery, usage, and environment data into the platform so that teams can run greener operations. If you report to finance or ESG, you need the evidence, not the anecdotes. So the telematics devices managers, they hit the sustainability goals. And the main question would be, what is the main target? Like, what would be the main KPIs that your customers would put on the table in front of their managers? What are the problems they're facing for? What do they have to show?
That would be very much different depending on the country where, let's say, the business is based. For example, in European Union, yes, you need to, there are some CO2 emission targets. You need to respect that. However, it's not maybe that relevant for other regions. However, it's kind of spreads. So even in Saudi Arabia, in their Vision 2030, there is some level of electrification of the fleets that the businesses should do. So I would say, first of all, what telematics does, telematics provides visibility and allows businesses to compare the costs of having fuel vehicles, of having electric vehicles, actually comparing what is more beneficial for me to have in my country with my regulation, in my country with my temperature range as well, because transitioning to EVs would be a bit challenging in the Nordics, let's say, sometimes. And that's what business will see thanks to telematics. We'll be able to compare, okay, I'm investing X money in the fleet electrification while I'm getting this mileage from these vehicles, while that's how many times I need to charge these electric vehicles to kind of have the same route that I will have with the X amount of fuel invested. So we are behind those calculations, where those comparisons. What goals you have? Well, that's a question to the business.
Okay, but that's interesting that you've just brought up. I was wondering, and I had that idea, that there is an internal competition in the company between the ICE and the EV, and there is always that comparison, like as if obviously the manager is investing, the stakeholder is investing in that, and he would like to get the real data, the real digits. So that would mean that both of the fleets have to have advanced telematics.
Oh, yes.
Both of the fleets have to have the CAN data.
Oh yes, I absolutely agree with you. And I would say if that's a mixed fleet of internal combustion engine and EV vehicles, your telematics partner would be interested to provide you a solution that will fit them both. Because, well, imagine you have an extra vehicle tomorrow. Do you really need to think about, okay, what kind of device I want to choose? You want to have a solution that will fit both kinds of your vehicles. And that's what we are aiming for with our CAN reading devices, definitely.
Could you give us an example probably of those dashboards? What should be inside? Like something probably easy to set up with the first week of testing the EV devices.
I would say, well, of course, the dashboards are in your sphere. I'm not,
Well, we're using
I
your
will be
data.
happy. I will be happy to get whatever you guys do. But I would say it's very important to look into the state of charge and state of health of the batteries and in the charging habits of the users, because of course, if the battery is not charged regularly, it impacts the performance. It impacts the battery life in general. And changing the battery, well, it costs money. You definitely want to avoid that. So yeah, state of health, I would say.
Yes. And what makes the difference is with the ICE vehicle, the uptime is pretty different than the uptime of the EV vehicles. If the battery dies in the EV vehicle, the uptime, well, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
The
and
vehicle and the device.
yeah, and I would say that having in your telematics platform the possibility to know the approximate charging station for the EV, that would be definitely a game changer for the business, because, well, getting fuel is easy. There are a lot of them. Charging stations, not so much. And there are regions where there are just a few of them. And traveling outside the urban area could become a problem for those that use EV fleets. So this should be taken into account as well when you're planning your routes, when you're estimating what could be the mileage for your EV. You need to think where I will find my next charging station.
Sure. And since you have mentioned that scooters is one of the really good use cases, what would be your recommendation? Having an extended battery separate for the device, just in case something happened and the battery is down. In this case, the device is not going to report, and it's going to be hard for maintenance to find that EV scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Or there are some other ways to solve it.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%. I would recommend to have external battery because you want to track your scooter when it's parked as well. It's not only during the trip when it's running, but also when it's parked, and especially it's important for sharing and rental businesses. Because imagine the scooter is parked and it's stolen. So what's next? You don't have any view into the truck. So yeah.
Even though that would make the whole completed solution a bit more costly, but it's worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's an investment in the visibility. It's an investment in the security of your scooters, and also the stability of your business. If you're running the business on your e-bikes or your e-scooters, you want to make sure that they are available for your users, actually. So yeah.
Thank you, Kseniya. As electric fleets grow, the job gets trickier. More models to support, charging that's not the same in every city, and the different regional rules to follow, as Kseniya mentioned. And because 2026 budgets are being decided right now, people want to know where to place their bets. Teltonika has been leaning into richer EV data, flexible device form factors, and closer ties with platforms and connectivity. So the data actually drives action. And looking ahead into the 2026, we have a little bit left. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Where should Teltonika go? What is your vision? What is the strategy? Should you go into the more CAN-bus data that you could enrich platforms, or that would be the charging stations or connectivity?
Well, I would say definitely richer CAN data. We are working on that for quite some time for our CAN series reading devices, and for our specific e-mobility series as well. We would like to expand the lists of integrations that we have with different brands and give our partners not only the possibility to set up the integrations themselves, but also provide them the list of supported e-transport they can pick from. So yeah, I would say that this definitely would be a direction for our e-mobility team for 2026.
And if you are to place a bet in terms of probably industry-wise, or somehow you classify that, like where would that be? What kind of EVs? Where?
Well, that's a tricky question. That's a tricky question. But in terms of brands,
Well, probably brand-wise, we'll just leave it. But I mean, the country-wise, in terms of the industry or what specific niche you think would be growing a bit better, is it the electric forklifts? Would that be the warehouse?
of course, yeah.
Or that would be just city mobility, or well, depending on
Of
the
course,
region.
yeah. We definitely see the growth not only in two-wheelers that we discussed already today, but also, forklifts management, four-wheelers that, for example, like golf carts, recreational vehicles, all sorts of things. They are all electric now. So here we definitely see a niche for us and for our partners. Maybe it's not that obvious. We definitely see growth potential there. And also there are countries that are actually investing in converting two-wheelers from internal combustion to electric ones. So this is the regulations that we're seeing, for example, in Southeast Asia, in countries like Indonesia, who is the hub of manufacturing, actually, of two-wheelers. Definitely we see the potential there as well.
What do you think would be the main driver for that? That is in regards to answering the previous question.
Sure.
Would that be actually compliance-based decision mostly?
Well, compliance definitely would be the easiest for us and for solution providers. If the clients are obliged to use it, that's a win for us. But I would say it's not only about compliance, but it's also about the consciousness of the final consumer. So we see more and more that people are interested to see that their supplier is sustainable. They are interested to know, okay, what is my carbon footprint? What is my impact on global warming? And that's also is pushing the businesses to convert to electric, even when the, let's say, regulation is not as strong as we can see in certain regions.
Since you're disclosing some of the use cases, I pretty much understand that you are within the market and you understand and you feel the market. My question will be probably not that obvious, but just interested in those projects would come from the end users, or that would be proactivity from the TSPs or someone providing the telematic services?
Well, that's a very good question. We definitely would like to see the proactivity from solution providers, because they have the expertise and they can show the fleet owner, the end user, what can be achieved with telematics. Because our field is a bit complicated, and businesses don't have a crystal ball what it can give them. So definitely I would say if we would like to see the growth in the industry, the ball is on the side of solution providers.
In dense downtowns, GPS can get jumpy. Buildings, tunnels, even underground. And when your geofence or billing depends on the precise location, good enough just causes the headache. With tighter delivery window in the busier cities, fleets need receivers that use more than just a GPS. Teltonika says the FT platform blends newer GNSS chips with internal sensors and the firmware that holds the line while the sky disappears. So what's actually new under the hood of the FT platform, and what reduces the drift of the dense in the cities? And we're going to ask Kseniya, what is actually happening? What is there new in the GNSS first?
In order to know precisely what's under the hood, you need to speak with our engineers that are super happy in answering all those questions.
Sure.
But yeah, when we were working on the FT platform, we understood that our clients, they expect higher accuracy exactly for the use cases that you described. And basically, we are focusing on two things. First of all, is the number of satellites visible for our device. So the latest generation, it can log more than 40 satellites at the same time, assuring your accuracy. But also there is a second thing, which is called dead reckoning. So dead reckoning is that technology that allows to map the track of the vehicle even if there is no coordinates from the satellites, using gyro and using accelerometer to estimate where actually the vehicle or like your two-wheeler or whatever is going.
Thank you for sharing that information that now you're using the multi-constellation scheme, that you're using the GPS and the GLONASS and Baidu. And at the same time, red reckoning. That technology is really interesting because not only because there are tunnels existing, because we have cases where one of the most popular jamming device would actually be not on the GPRS side. That would be on the GPS side, and that costs pennies. It's not a life hack, it just exists on the market.
Yeah.
By blocking that, that would mean that the satellites literally will be zero. And your device will still show the way, or how that happens?
Well, of course, this way won't be 100% accurate because, again, this is the estimation that device does based on the gyro and accelerometer. But again, when it comes to the use cases like stolen vehicle recovery, those couple of meters difference doesn't really matter because, again, if you can map those track at least at some level of precision, you will be able to recover the stolen vehicle. And I would say that from the applications that we see, it's not only about stolen vehicle recovery, it's also about just telematics in the cities like Dubai, where we are today. Because of the skyscrapers, it's quite hard sometimes to see where actually is your last mile delivery, where your rented vehicle is parked, and so on. So that's where that reckoning as well can help you out.
Thank you. And thank you for highlighting the case with the security measures, because that really matters.
Oh, yeah.
Because when the GPS signal is not there, the GPRS still exists, so you can literally track the vehicle at this particular moment, and you can actually recover it. And this is really interesting for some of the countries.
Yeah, there are, let's say, radio-based devices for stolen vehicle recovery that are on the market for quite some time. But again, if you want to have proper fleet management and stolen vehicle recovery, then yeah, definitely a device with dead reckoning would be a perfect solution for you.
Kseniya, and continuing the topic about the red reckoning, because that is really interesting topic. Partners asking, what is actually behind that technology? What is inside?
Well, the inside is actually the brain of the device that uses accelerometer and 3 axes to estimate in what direction the vehicle is moving. So you have your XYZ, and the device computes without sending the data to a cloud, so everything happens inside the device itself. So device computes and estimates the coordinates, and those coordinates, they are sent to the fleet management platform the same way that we are doing with real coordinates that we get from the satellites.
Amazing. And at the same time, the satellites would be at zero, but but dots will be sent.
Dots will be there. Yes, yes, yes. And basically in the platform, our customer and your customer will see a truck. That's it.
That is an amazing workaround. Amazing. Thank you, Kseniya. In city centers, the goal isn't fancy cheap. It's fewer disputes and smoother operations, courier, car sharing, live where the GPS is most fragile. And every false alert costs time and trust. I wonder how Teltonika, actually, with the new technologies that we just mentioned, the GNSS and the bad reckoning, actually approach that. Probably you have a use case that would reflect what happens with couriers in the downtown, or sharing, car sharing, scooter sharing somewhere parked somewhere up, I don't know, downstairs in the basement.
Yeah, for sure. But when it comes to debt reckoning, actually, this is a brand new feature for us. That the solutions with debt reckoning are not available to general public just yet. Just yet. So now we are just showing it here and there to our limited group of partners. So no success stories there just yet. However, when it comes to FT platform in general and the precision and the amount of satellites that the devices can log, yeah, for sure. And I think the use case that comes to mind immediately is the sharing service. Sharing service that, let's say, operates here in Middle East, no names, but
Okay.
yeah. And for this company, it was highly important to have this precision because of the density of the area. And having telematics implemented helped them to increase efficiency drastically because they were able to see where their e-bikes, their scooters are actually parked. And also analyze the behavior of their users. They were seeing where exactly they were picking them. And okay, so I see the demand here. It means that I need to have the parking here. And that's something that impacted the operations. And last time we asked, they told us that, well, we grew 27%. Thanks to telematics, thanks to the solution. So yeah, I mean, that's the real application here.
Thank you. You really mentioned a case where precision really matters for both sides.
Because imagine using your application and trying to find your rented vehicle or a two-wheeler, and it's not there. And it's somewhere there, but yeah, where somewhere. Not nice.
Teltonika works with partners and fleets around the world. Independent trackers also rank Teltonika high by volume, which says the ecosystem approach, hardware connectivity, and platform partners. They have a real momentum at the moment. With compliance and AI-assisted operations on the horizon, the question is where to double down. And our audience is planning the year 2026 right now. And we wonder what is there in the compass, like from your seat, from your perspective, what kind of device combinations we could recommend combined with the connectivity. What would that be? What is that recipe of success for the 2026?
I don't think that I will have the exact recipe of success for each and every partner, but I would definitely recommend to look outside vehicle telematics. Because what we are seeing in, let's say, our space inside Teltonika, that many of our partners, they're still focusing on tracking the fuel, on making the track on the map. We really believe that you need to go outside and venture into asset tracking, venture into video telematics as well. So hopefully we will have some announcements to make next year about that. But yeah, no spoilers at this point. And of course, into reading more and more vehicle data. So I definitely recommend to solution providers, if you are still doing, geofencing and you trip planning, whatnot, step outside that. Step outside of that and see what else you can do for your existing customer base. You actually don't even need to search for new customer base. Just approach the businesses you're already working with and see what pains you can solve with telematics. And yeah, hopefully we will be able to provide you some inspiration with our product line. So we'll do our best.
Thank you. Thank you, Kseniya, for really good advices for the upcoming year. And I really hope that everything works out, and there will be possibility for the advanced telematics to grow as well, because this is really exciting, really exciting.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Kseniya, yes, thank you very much for answering most of the questions that we had today. And probably the last question would be, what would be your advice to a software providing company? Probably what should the software provider company do with the data? Where to look at? What would be your suggestion?
Well, if I could ask for one thing, I would ask for staying in touch with us. Having this dialogue between hardware partner and software partner is crucial, I think, in our industry, because we definitely need to work together in order to provide the full solution for the business out there, for the end customer. Definitely, I would recommend, if you are having the project and you don't have a right hardware partner, come to us. We will figure this out. If you struggle with our devices for some reason, again, come to us. We will solve this. So dialogue, that's definitely the thing that I would like to ask for our software partners. Luckily, we do have it with many of you and with the Navixy team as well. So yeah, would like to continue in the same direction.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kseniya. Thanks to Kseniya for sharing how Teltonika is tracking e-mobility and delivering rock-solid GNSS accuracy. We covered a lot today, from making EV fleets practical with CAN-level insights and charge-aware ops operations, to staying online through sunset and patchy coverage, and how multi-constellation plus the dead reckoning together work and provide us with a clean data location. If you're a TSP or a fleet operator looking to bring those capabilities to market, Teltonika devices integrate smoothly with Navixy, so you can pilot EV tracking, cold chain, advanced accuracy workflows without heavy lifting. So thank you again, Kseniya, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next telematics talks. Until next time, stay efficient, stay accurate, and keep moving.